Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. It wasn't just Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. that was talked of today. I mean, that's been announced that it's going to take place in London in April. But there's talk of another rematch, another one that, I don't know, is it necessary? Actually, Oscar De La Hoya asked this very question recently. He just said, well, is this necessary? And that's Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney. Now, I'm not saying it's kind of like Eubank versus Ben. I'm not saying it can't be sold off the back of controversy, because we know all about the Ben failed PED tests and Eubank, and that they're rivals and their fathers were great rivals and so on. They don't like each other, so it can be sold on lots of pantomime villainy during the build-up. And two other guys who genuinely don't seem to like each other are Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And you know what happened last year, which was that Ryan absolutely smashed Haney to bits. God knows how Haney lasted to the final bell, but he did, so credit for that. But he was floored several times. Couldn't get out of the way of the left hook. And Ryan just basically took the piss with him. And then, of course, Ryan had already come over the weight limit by 3.5 pounds. You had to pay $1 million for every pound. So Haney made a bit more money. That was bad enough. Haney accepting the fight, when Ryan was so glaringly above the weight. But then, of course, Ryan failed a drugs test. Haney took out a lawsuit against him for alleged battery fraud, unjust enrichment relating to the inaugural encounter, while King Ryan insists he won't run it back with Haney until the lawsuit's been dropped. I'm reading this, of course. I mean, it's all very convoluted, isn't it? But it may yet happen, because both of these guys were at the Ring Magazine Awards at the weekend, and the excellent Turkey has alluded to this fight being made. Now, like I said, Oscar De La Hoya, his attitude is, and he's the one who promotes Garcia. God, that's a thankless task, isn't it? Jesus Christ, kid's a nightmare. But Oscar said, why would we want a second fight? It was so comprehensive, the first bout. Well, let's be honest here. Oscar's being a little bit disingenuous here, because the controversy surrounding it and the fact that the fight was called a no contest, and Haney was given his unbeaten record back because they said it's a no contest, it's not going down as a defeat. The other guy cheated. You're back to zero in the defeats column. He said, oh, thank you very much. The first bout will have taken years off him. He's only a young man, isn't he, Devin Haney? Both youngsters, but that was a hellacious beating. And do people really see him as being undefeated still? I don't think so. A lot of people make fun of Haney. Now, Haney he hasn't made any friends with some of his comments and some of his apparent attitudes in the past. So a lot of people were glad to see him defeated, so to speak, or at least beaten up, let's put it that way, by Garcia. They were like, who cares about Haney? Yeah, all right, Ryan cheated. I don't give a damn, Don't like Haney, so who cares? And people are like that. It's kind of like, they regard Haney as, in the past, having been a bit of a weight bully. So, yeah, why am I supposed to care about him? So, Ryan came in overweight. Haney agreed to fight him. What's the problem there? And, Ryan tested positive, but we don't care. We don't care. Haney got what he deserved. He's been beaten up smaller men. And I don't, by the way, I don't hold with this weight bully thing. I think if you can make the weight and stay strong, that's fine. But it can work both ways. You can make the weight and be very, very weak and lacking in energy and lacking in a good gas tank. But Haney took that gamble, and he had a very close fight with Lomachenko. A lot of people thought Lomachenko won that fight. Beat up Kambosos in Australia twice. And I'm kind of, even though I don't particularly have any great affiliation with either of these guys, any great affection for them either, but I don't really care. But I am kind of hoping that Haney persists with the lawsuit, because I think that I'm not someone who believes that we should just let people get away with being drug cheats. And Ryan, whether he likes it or not, whether he wants to admit it, whatever his attitude is, and he is a very odd young man to say the least. he deserves to be punished properly, not through this absurd, year ban, which ends on, what is it now? It's very soon, I think about mid-year. We're talking about the New York State Athletic Commission's ban, 1-year ban. The fact that, the fact that he can get away with it doesn't sit well with me at all. I'm not someone who likes PD cheats. Yeah, I know there's a lot of them that don't get caught. Of course there are. But that ain't to say that we roll over and let all the cheats get away with it. No. But if the fight is to be made, Haney will have to drop that lawsuit. And if he does, and if he takes the money, for the rematch, and then gets another beating, of course they'll insist on VADA testing. I think Haney wants VADA testing, and Garcia doesn't trust him. He says, no, I haven't VADA testing. I don't trust those guys. Well, you wouldn't trust them if you're taking naughty things, would you, Ryan? Come on, mate. But yeah, is this going to happen? Haney has said if Garcia doesn't sign up for VADA testing, the lawsuit stands, and therefore the fight won't go ahead. But I don't know. I think his ban ends sort of mid-April, Garcia. So is it mid-April? Something like that. May this year. So I think they'll probably, if there's enough money on the table, they'll go for it, won't they? It's like Ben and Eubank. If they put enough money down, they'll find a way to make it work. And it is ultimately all about money. Yeah. But the reasons why, I'll just read you something just to sort of cast a bit of, regarding the lawsuit, it may interest you. It said, well, the New York State Athletic Commission actually issued a statement which kind of gives, it's almost an open and shut case regarding the lawsuit, because they said that Garcia is subject to the following actions. His win over Devin Haney has been changed to a no contest. His purse has been forfeited. A fine of $10,000, which is chump change to him, has been imposed, and his New York State professional boxer's license will be suspended until April 2025. So from that sprang the lawsuit. And it does seem that lawsuit does carry a bit of weight. And so if I had to guess, I would say that Garcia doesn't want that. He wants to avoid the lawsuit. He's quite happy to fight Haney again. And I would imagine that this will end with, and this is only a guesswork, bit of guesswork, of course, but I would imagine that what will happen is that the lawsuit will be dropped, but VADA testing will have to be in place, and that Garcia will have to agree to that, and he doesn't want to do that. So he probably won't be able to cheat. He won't have as much opportunity to cheat again. As for the fight itself, who would you pick? Well, we'll come to that later. But let me know what you think about this. Do you agree with Oscar de la Hoya that a second fight isn't necessary? I don't know. I kind of think it is. I'm curious to know if Garcia is straight, and of course the weight. I mean, what would it be? Another 140-pound fight? He didn't make the weight last time, Garcia. So I don't know. Is it a welterweight? Is it a 140? That'll be interesting as well. But I am curious about this fight. I am intrigued. I don't care about Ben versus Eubank at all. But this one, it seems to me to be unfinished business because of all the controversy, the failed test, and all this other stuff that's gone on. So I would watch this fight with a fair bit of intrigue. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't care who won, but I am curious. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comments below as usual, and please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button as well, because you're a good person and you want to spread the word about the channel, don't you? Of course you do. And I am looking forward, as always, to reading your comments, and I'll answer as many as I can. Can't answer all of them because there's so many, but I'll answer as many as I can. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much as always, and bye for now.